Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Kai, and first off, I wanted to say that viewer discretion is advised. I will be talking about explicit things because this movie was kind of explicit, and I will be showing you guys a little bit kind of explicit scenes, not really. Today, the movie I'll be analyzing is called Malcolm and Marie. It was released February 5th, 2021, directed by Sam Levinson, starring Zendaya as Marie and John David Washington as Malcolm. Now, I like that this movie was shot entirely in black and white. I say this because if this movie was shot in color, it would not have been set up right. The tone, the mood, even the choice of music would have not been right. And that's also one thing that I did like about this movie is the choice of music. They played a song that was actually a jazz song, which was actually a pretty good song, called Going Home by Archie Shepp. The song was played before Malcolm and Marie's first fight and then played after Malcolm apologized. I also like that they used big words in this movie. Now, granted, yes, they did cuss a lot in this movie, but they used big words. And they did this because to show you guys that, okay, yeah, we cuss, but we also know more words, that their vocabulary isn't limited just to cuss words, that they can choose whether or not to use cuss words. They use the word pedantic, amalgamation, things, words I've never heard of before. And I'm like, wow, I gotta look this up because I don't know what this word means. And I mean, if you guys don't know what a word means, just look it up because no harm. And I had to look it up. So the words that I didn't know, I will put in the comment section with the definition because if you guys don't know the words, I mean, you don't know. That's just it. Now, one of the first situations I want to talk about is when Malcolm's mom and Taylor is an actress who played Imani in Malcolm's movie. And they had went up to Marie and was like, even though Malcolm didn't thank you in his speech, he needs you, he loves you, and he's really grateful for you. And at that point, that's when Marie got mad because Malcolm did not thank Marie in his speech at all. And Marie was like, I feel like once you know someone is there for you and once you know that they love you, you never actually think of them again. And Marie was basically saying, when you're in a relationship and you know that person is going to be with you, that they love you, that they're never going to leave you, you never truly actually think about them per se. You never acknowledge them. And that's basically how Marie felt. She wasn't acknowledged. She never was really thought of again. That Malcolm's work came before her. And so then Marie had got upset because she felt like Imani was based on her because Marie had went through a lot of stuff before she met Malcolm, before she was barely 20 years old. And Marie was an addict. And Marie felt like Malcolm stole her story from her. Not a literal theft, but a spiritual one. Now, this quote hits because a literal theft, you can steal a cup, but you can buy another cup. A spiritual theft is something that's connected to you in your soul. And once somebody's taken that from you, it's kind of hard to get that back, or it's kind of hard to remake that up after it's been stolen from you. So Malcolm and Marie, they had gotten this argument, and Marie had basically called Malcolm's work mediocre because she said that Malcolm was unable to come up with an original concept, an original idea in his head, that he could never be the next Spike Lee or John Singleton because he doesn't have an original thought in his mind. And she said this because she, like I said, felt that Imani was based off of her. And she called his work mediocre. Now, Marie went to go take a bath. Malcolm went to go out and fuss. And I'm going to actually be quiet so you guys can watch this clip right here because, and then I'll just explain it after that.
What do you mean mediocre? Well, you just trying to be mean? Is that why you said
Yeah, guys. So basically, in this scene, Marie had called Malcolm stuff mediocre, and he came knocking on the window. The first part, as you guys seen, it was like, "So you really think my stuff is mediocre?" And me and Marie had the same thought, like, Are you serious? Out of all the things that I said about you not having an original concept or idea in your brain, the only word you heard me say was mediocre. Wow. And as you guys saw, Malcolm was like, "Oh, so you were just being cruel? That's it." But to be honest, Malcolm was being cruel to start off with, what he said when he had, as you guys seen, he brought up all Marie's dirty laundry, all her past, and Marie had said, this is why I should never told you what I did, Malcolm, or what I've been through because you used it against an argument." Now that was cruel, and so the part that really killed me is this part right here.
Well, let's fucking go.
Yes, guys. My dude, Malcolm, really said, "I promise you, I can hurt you 10 times worse." He said that Marie was a featherweight, that she was just a level 1 boss. And this scene right here, he destroyed her whole existence. And if I was Marie, I would have been cried. I would have been like, you know what? You know what, Malcolm? Okay, that's how you feel? That's how you feel? Okay, period. That's how you feel. But when he said that, I was stunned. Because he really said, "I promise you, I can hurt you 10 times worse. You're just a featherweight at this. You're a level 1 boss. I'm better." And so there's this scene. I'm going to go play it for a short time because it's a long scene. But as you guys can see, so basically in this scene, Malcolm was describing how basically Imani was not based off of Marie. How all these girls that he's been with through these different times, from how the girl rode the bicycle to how the girl tied her shoes, was literally based off of different people, different women that he was with. And so he came back in, he said his spill, he came back into the bathroom. And he told Marie, which I thought this was a pretty good quote if you ask me. He said, "You just needed a reason to be needed, because if I don't need you, then what the hell am I doing with you, Marie?" He said, "I love you, but I don't need you." Which actually, I was like, well, dang. But it's true. He asked, "Oh, yeah, Marie, is this cut okay? Oh, let me go ask Marie. Let me see how Marie feels about it." He doesn't need Marie. He doesn't. He loves her, but he does not need her. He can do things by his own self. He doesn't need her. And I know everything I just said, how I said at the beginning, how this movie wasn't about no toxic relationship, because it's really not. I mean, not every scene was quote unquote toxic.
Desensitized to violence, or is it because I believe that if you witness trauma on screen, the audience should also feel that fucking trauma? That is the mystery of art, of film, what drives someone to make something and fucking say something. Now you can criticize this system, which, like every fucking system, is white as fuck, and in our business, fucking male and white as fuck. I mean, god damn.
Jordan Peele, Spike Lee, John Singleton, Ryan Coogler, Oscar Michelet, Melvin Van Peebles, and those are just some to name. Like, I had to look up some, to be honest with you. I know who Ryan Coogler is, John Singleton, Jordan Peele, all those, but still, you have these movies where, like, for example, in Get Out, Daniel Kaluuya is not American. He's British, but he plays an American black guy in Get Out. You have Idris Elba, played Obsessed, or Daddy's Little Girls. This man is not Black American, he's Black British. So, which I understood. Malcolm really even went on to say that critics, if you don't have the love of film, how are you able to critique the form, the media, the technique? How? You're critiquing it from a side that you don't know. You're critiquing it from what you've seen, not from any real research that you put into it. And I was like, dang, Malcolm is right. You have all these people, like the people who were critiquing this movie, saying it's toxic and the relationship is unhealthy, when, yeah, it may have been on the surface, but this movie is not about toxicity. It's not. And I just want to say out there, shout out Zendaya Coleman for the one time, because, girl, your acting skills were on point. Like, after her and Malcolm got done yelling at each other, Marie sat on that floor. She was like, basically like, "Malcolm, where are the pills? Like, I did this and I have no shame about it. I did it, and guess what, Malcolm? I don't feel bad about it at all." And Marie has set the knife down. I'm going to show you guys the scene right here because the scene was spectacular to me. Like, Zendaya did her stuff on this scene. Like, like, literally, Zendaya did her stuff. She did that, sweetheart, on this scene. And the way Malcolm was at the end kind of cracked me up because Malcolm just sat there and was like, what the just happened? He was like, Marie, you should have did that during the audition. I'm like, because she really hit that, actually.
Well, damn, why'd you do that in the
audition?
And
I was just like, wow, like, he really did that. Now, my last thing that I want to say is, in the ending scene, when Malcolm and Marie both wake up, they're standing outside, and you can see the view, and you can see them standing. It actually reminds me of this painting right here. I don't know why. That painting I've seen, my aunt gave it to me. Honestly, it just reminded me of that. And I was like, that looks like familiar. Like, if you look at the painting here, and then the scene right here, it kind of went together. I'm like, but in this picture, they had the hat when they were fishing by the lake. It kind of reminded me of that scene. I was like, But this movie, honestly, guys, I give it a 10 out of 10 because it was a good movie. Nothing had to do with toxicity. They had more than just that. I mean, there were scenes where they even were laughing and they were talking about the white girl from LA Times and how Malcolm would make a Lego company $1 billion just off of a biopic of Angela Davis. Which I was like, wow. Like, this movie was good. And honestly, I feel like people have to think below the surface of the so-called toxic relationship. And, like I always say, guys, if you guys don't like the movie, it's probably because you didn't understand it. And I feel like with a lot of critics out there, I'm sorry, but you guys just did not understand this movie. You saw something for the first time and thought that this movie was toxic, but it's not. But you guys can watch this movie on Netflix. Again, it's called Malcolm and Marie. And, if you guys like this video, you like what you heard, you like what you seen, please comment, like, subscribe, and please press that share button because, you gotta get them subscribers. And I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you, guys.
I know it don't seem difficult to hit you up, but you're not passionate about half the shit that you went to, and I ain't having it, and we both know that. I don't mean to offend you, I'm just focused today.